Thank you for being with me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, and I love how this weather community is growing so very fast. All the new subscribers. But with that, I love the comments. Thank you for putting your information in the comment section about the storm system that's moving by. On this channel, I don't root for storms. I've been through many, but I do want to track them to give you the early heads up. So thank you for your trust with the system. It's stayed on track from what we've been talking about for about 4 to 5 days now. Still rolling through, still concerned about some high winds. Nothing we haven't seen before, right? But we always need to be mindful with some of those high winds, some tree branches down, that sort of thing, the elevated seas, and we're going to cover all of that as this system moves in. And then we have that second system behind it, but that one looks to be a little bit weaker, keeping it in perspective in a slightly different track, which we'll get to. But let me get right to what we have going on as we go over the next few hours. The area of low pressure pulling through Scotland. Thank you again for those comments. A lot coming out of Scotland. While we've had some blue skies and spots as expected, our southern zone, such a fine line. Ireland, back through England, Wales, not a lot in the rain as expected, but we have those strong winds filtering in back behind it. And then as we work our way into tomorrow and Wednesday, we draw our attention to the next system that will be rolling by. Area of low pressure. This one a little bit different, should be a little bit weaker, but this one kind of punching into parts of Ireland with some additional rain as we work our way to Wednesday, but then kind of lifting a little bit to the north and not as strong. So a weaker system in more of a northerly track with that, but still as we work our way into Thursday, we'll get some of those stronger winds that will be moving in. Now let me broaden out the picture, get back to later today into tonight. Here's this area of low pressure moving through the North Sea. Out ahead of it, heavy rain. Back behind it, the winds continue to whip in and whip around, even over toward the Baltic Sea. Watching out for the heavier rain. Denmark, we're going to see some heavy areas of rain, right? The Netherlands will get clipped by. I've been watching Belgium, so I've got all of us covered, but Denmark, some heavier rain, and then strong winds are going to persist into tomorrow, and as expected, really piling up on the west coast of Norway. I'll be watching your comments, some higher rain totals, gusty winds, some heavier rain, and then as we work our way into Wednesday, this area of low pressure lifting up through Sweden and Finland, and then here comes the next area that will even bring additional rain to parts of Iceland. So watching that. So watching this rain still hanging tough in spots of Finland, northern sections, over towards Sweden and Norway. And then here's that next system working its way in, and another one back behind it. This one more likely to impact Iceland with some gusty winds and rain. But by Thursday, here's this area of low pressure over parts of Scotland, the other area back behind it. But look at this, heads up again. The rain piling up in parts of Norway, strong winds moving through parts of Denmark, but another round of some heavier rain. So west coast of Norway, we've got some rocky weather that will be moving in over the next few days. So back to the spin to show you the winds. Over towards Scotland, this red shading here, still some of the winds gusting to about 70 miles per hour or 110 kilometers an hour. Strong winds. Backside, that blustery weather. While a lot of us are dry, we still know a system is up to the north. And then all of this rotating around over toward the Baltic, lifting up to the north. Even some gustier winds, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Germany, Poland on the north side. Of course, those stronger winds, especially as we work our way back through Germany. Deeper into tomorrow, there's that area of low pressure. Strong winds. We're running some of the gust 80 to about 100 kilometers an hour along the west coast of Norway, and then swinging back toward Denmark, we're going to have some of the winds gusting around 80 kilometers an hour or 50 miles per hour. Then there's that system as it kind of winds up, and then we draw our attention to our next one. Not as strong, but once again, some gusty winds. Ireland heads up. We'll see that as we work our way into Wednesday night. We'll get some of those stronger winds moving in with this next system, and then eventually over toward Northern Ireland, Scotland, and again over toward Norway. And there's that other little pocket that will be working its way toward Iceland as we work our way toward the week's end. Now, you can see as far as the rain total goes, everything stayed on track. Additional rain, parts of Scotland, we're looking at some spots of an additional 25 millimeters of rain, but this is the concern. West coast of Norway, piling up. Some spots will be over 100 to about 150 millimeters of rain. Could be even a little higher. Again, we're going to have another system moving in that will add to some of this rain. Elsewhere, most of the rain totals are 25 millimeters or less. But watching over toward Bulgaria, Kosovo, for example, for thunderstorms, not leaving anyone out. While the action is to the north, we're still going to see some storms. Northern Ireland, Austria, Romania, Ukraine, even Slovakia. A couple of those storms. Czechia, hit or miss a shower or storm around. quick 25 to 50 millimeters of rain will be a possibility. Showing you the wave heights. This is back to today with this system. Open waters running at about 7 to about 8 meters. It is rocky out there. We get closer. We get closer into Scotland, about 5 meters, and then we swing down toward the coast of Ireland. Even though the system's moving away, the backside running at about 4.5 to 5 meters as we work our way into tonight. Then into tomorrow, you see the seas rocky. North Sea is a mess. We turn our attention to Denmark. We get over toward the Netherlands. You can see the elevated seas that will be with us west coast here of both Norway and even Sweden for some of those wave heights of about 4+ meters right near shore. And then still on the backside, you see still near 4 meters as we get back toward parts of Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland. Some of those wave heights still rather aggressive at times. And then we'll watch out for that next system moving in. But here are those thunderstorms as well. Yes, most of the action up to the north, the Netherlands getting clipped by rain, some wind, northern Germany, but Slovakia south, Macedonia watching out for some of those thunderstorms that will be around. Some of them quite strong. Low chance in Greece. Turkey, though, will eventually get a few. But Czechia back through Austria, Switzerland, hit or miss storms. Poland, some of that rain around at times. Bulgaria, very hit or miss, isolated. But as we work our way into Wednesday, this area kind of works across Belarus, Ukraine, Romania. Even Turkey will get a couple isolated storms. Let's still watching the spot in here. Portugal, Spain, France. It hasn't been as much as I mentioned a few videos ago for us in Portugal, Spain, France. The heat has been building, and there comes that next system as we get toward the middle and end of the week. I do want to mention this north of Bermuda. That is Tropical Storm Dexter. We need to monitor that to see how much of it hangs together. I've been highlighting that we're going to see a very active period coming up in the hurricane season. This is Tropical Storm Dexter. I'll monitor the remnants of this as we go forward to see if any of that kind of works our way. So first system moving across, the gusty winds continue. Isolated power outages. The second system arriving midweek. Even another system behind that moving toward Iceland. And we are tracking that tropical Atlantic. So I'll be going through your comments as we get into this evening, tonight, and tomorrow. Thank you for your weather information, your patience. Have a good rest of your evening.